Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So continuing with the discussion on Bhagavad Gita as it is, Chapter 7, Knowledge of the Absolute, text number 6 onwards. So, last class, Krishna tells Arjun that Bhumi, Rapo, Analo, Vayu, that these are my separated 8 material energies. And besides that, there is a superior energy, which is the living entities, and who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. And then further he says, Etad yonini bhutani sarvani iti upadharaya aham krishnasya jagata prabhava pralayastata. That's amazing knowledge that he is giving. All created beings have their sources in these two natures. All created beings means like us, living entities, conditioned living entities who take birth in the material world. Of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution. Prabhava pralayas tatha. I am both the origin and the dissolution. It's not that anything is going to come from anywhere else. Everything comes from Krishna. And he clearly says that here. Of all that is material and all that is spiritual. So spiritual is all the living entities. Material is everything that is there in the material universe. It comes from Krishna. And he is responsible for dissolution also. Not Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva never said that all this nature comes from him. Which scripture? Where does it say that? He has a wonderful position, no doubt about it. But when those people, they say, oh, Shiva is the supreme, Lord Shiva is everything, that it just doesn't make sense. Here Krishna is clearly saying this. And further also he will say these things. So purport. Everything that exists is a product of matter and spirit. Spirit is a basic field of creation, and matter is created by spirit. Not that the spirit is created by matter. Spirit is not created at a certain stage of material development. Spirit is not created by that. Krishna clearly says, I am the source of both matter and spirit. Scientists say that, because of the certain reaction of amino acids, life came into being. No. Prabhupada challenged them. He said, okay, we give you all the amino acids or all the chemicals, whatever you want, in your lab, produce life. They said, no, we can't do it. Then why give this kind of theory? Not theory, hypothesis, which is never proven. This material body is developed because spirit is present within the matter. A child grows gradually to boyhood and then to manhood because that superior energy, spirit soul, is present. Otherwise, the body cannot grow. Similarly, the entire cosmic manifestation of the gigantic universe is developed because of the presence of the super soul, which we know it's Kshirodaksha Vishnu, who expands himself as super soul. So without spirit, without living entity, matter cannot grow, matter cannot sustain. Not on its own. And so the whole cosmic manifestation, this gigantic universe, is there because super soul is there. And in fact, in Bhagavatam it is mentioned that when Brahmaji did the creation, he made 8,400,000 species. He made all the planetary systems. Still, the activity did not start. Even though soul was there, soul was there in every body, in every 8,400,000 species. Soul was there, but the activity did not start till Kshirodaksha Vishnu expands himself as Paramatma and enters into each and every atom, into the heart of each and every living entity. Then the activity starts. So even the soul on its own cannot do anything till super soul is there. So therefore, spirit and matter, which combine to manifest this gigantic universal form, are originally two energies of the Lord. And consequently, the Lord is the original cause of everything. So original cause of everything doesn't mean that we don't go through our karmic cycle. We have our desires. Krishna fulfills as Paramatma, he sanctions, but he witnesses also what activities we are doing, what desires we are having, and then we get the karmic reactions. So Krishna sanctions, three modes of nature take over and let the living entity do that activity. So cause is Krishna, but because he allowed us to fulfill our desires. That doesn't mean Krishna is responsible for our desires. There's a difference. We are responsible for our desires, then the activities and the subsequent reactions. A fragmental part and parcel of the Lord, namely the living entity, may be the cause of a big skyscraper, a big factory, or even a big city, but he cannot be the cause of a big universe. So although living entity may build a big skyscraper or a big factory or a big city, but then again, for building all these things, he needs earth, water, fire, air, ether, all the material elements, which are supplied by Krishna. But even though he can build all this, maybe he can build a planet. Yogis get so much of power, they can build a planet, but they cannot build the whole universe. They cannot be the cause of a big universe. The cause of the big universe is a big soul or the super soul. And Krishna, the Supreme, is a cause of both the big and small souls. So big is super soul, and Krishna is a cause because super soul is expansion of expansion of expansion of expansion of Krishna. Therefore, he is the original cause of all causes. This is confirmed in Kathopanishad also. Nityo Nityanam Chetnas Chetnanam. So he is the original source and so cause for origin and dissolution also. That's position of Krishna. And further he says, Mattaha parataram nanyat. For anybody who has any doubts about position of Krishna, he clearly says it. Mattah parataram nanyat. There is no one superior to me. Kinchidasti dhananjaya, ever. Mai sarvam idam protam sutre maniganaiva. O conqueror of wealth, Dhananjaya, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. So we see a beautiful necklace, We all appreciate the pearls or whatever, the jewels are there. But they all are resting on a thread. Thread is not seen. But one who has intelligence, he can understand. There is a thread. Everything is resting upon. If the thread is not there, they all can be broken into pieces. So the thread is the main thing. But we all see the pearls or the jewels. We all see all the planets. We all see all the, or hear about the universes. Or on every planet, so much of the species of life. We see that, but we don't see the thread. Everything is resting on that thread. There is a common controversy over whether the supreme absolute truth is personal or impersonal. As far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, the absolute truth is the personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. And this is confirmed in every step. All we have to do is read it properly. That's all. In this verse in particular, it is stressed that the absolute truth is a person. When he says, there is no truth superior to me. So me refers to person, obviously, and no truth superior, because Mayavadis say Brahm Jyoti. From Brahm Jyoti came Krishna. So then Brahm Jyoti must be truth superior to Krishna. But that is not true. This is what Krishna is saying clearly here. No truth superior to me. So he is the supreme, absolute truth. That the personality of Godhead is a supreme, absolute truth is also the affirmation of the Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Paramaha Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. So Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji clearly says, and now if somebody thinks I have more knowledge than Brahmaji, then he has to get admitted in a mental hospital. Where Brahmaji says, Ishvara Paramaha Krishna. He didn't say Ishvara Parama Brahma Jyoti or this or that. No. And Krishna means Satchidananda Vigraha. Vigraha means body. His body is made of Sat, Chit, and Ananda. So simple, so clear. He's a person. That is the supreme, absolute truth, personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna. Who is the primeval Lord, the reservoir of all pleasure, Govinda, and the eternal form of complete bliss and knowledge. So he is a primeval Lord, Adir Adir Govinda, the reservoir of all pleasure, Govinda, and the eternal form of complete bliss and knowledge, means Sat, Chit, and Ananda. These authorities leave no doubt that the absolute truth is the supreme person, the cause of all causes. The impersonalist, however, argues on the strength of the Vedic version given in Shvetashvatar Upanishad. It says, Tato yat uttarataram tad arupam anamayam ya etad vidur amritaste bhavanti athetare dukham evapiyanti. In the material world, Brahma, the primeval living entity within the universe, is understood to be the supreme amongst the demigods, human beings, and lower animals. But beyond Brahma, there is a transcendence who has no material form, and is free from all material contamination. Anyone who can know him also becomes transcendental, but those who do not know him suffer the miseries of the material world. Although it says he has no material form, but that doesn't mean he has no form altogether. Where does it say that? So impersonalist puts more stress on the word arupam. But this arupam is not impersonal. It indicates the transcendental form of eternity bliss and knowledge, as described in the Brahm Samhita quoted above. So Shvetashvatar Upanishad says Brahmaji is in the material world, he's a primeval, he's the first living entity, and is superior to all the demigods, human beings, lower animals, everybody. Yes, no doubt. And beyond Brahma, there is a transcendence, which has no material form, arupam. No, it's us to understand what does arupam mean. It only means it's no material form. It means it has spiritual form. So other verses in Shvetashvatar Upanishad substantiate this as follows. So I'll just go to the translation. I know that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is transcendental to all material conceptions of darkness. Only he who knows him can transcend the bonds of birth and death. There is no way for liberation other than this knowledge of that Supreme Person. So that Supreme, Vedaham etam Purusham Mahantam. Purusham. Purusham means personality. There is no truth superior to that Supreme Person because he is the supermost. Again, he, Supreme Person, they all refer to a person. He is smaller than the smallest and he is greater than the greatest. He is situated as a silent tree and he illumines the transcendental sky. And as a tree spreads its roots, he spreads his extensive energies. From these verses, one concludes that the Supreme Absolute Truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is all-pervading by his multi-energies, both material and spiritual. So he's a Supreme Person, he's a Supreme Absolute Truth, which is Krishna. And is all-pervading, he is everywhere also, by his multi-energies, both material and spiritual. So his energy is everywhere, and he is there everywhere in the atom, and also said within the space, between the atoms. He's there as Super Soul. So he's everywhere. And he's also located in his Dham, Golok Vrindavan. Sometimes people say, oh, how is it possible? Well, everything is possible for him. We cannot do that. That doesn't mean he cannot do that. We cannot put our limitations on him, define him by our limitations. No, that's not right. And so further now he's telling us how to see him everywhere. Raso aham apsu konteya prabhasmi shashi suryayo pranava sarva vedeshu shabda ke porusham nrishu. So how to see him? O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water. I am the light of the sun and the moon. Prabhasmi shashi suryayo. Pranava sarva vedeshu, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. That is I am. I am the sound in ether, Shabda Ke, sound in ether, and ability in men, Porusham Nrishu. So everything is I am. Of course, he could not go in too much detail because there was little time. He had to motivate Arjun to fight. But there's so many verses he still gave that clearly shows how to see him, even if we cannot see him as a person. Like he shows Sutre Maniganaiva, like pearls are hung on a thread. That thread, when he's not visible, an intelligent person should see him, is, now he's explaining, I'm the taste of water. Do we see the taste of water, or we just see water and drink it? but the taste is him. Of course, the water itself is also him. He says, I'm water, water element and water, water the thing. I'm him. I'm all this. And everybody drinks water every day. And Prabhupada explained, if when you're drinking water, you just think, oh, this is Krishna, the taste, then you can become Krishna conscious. Somebody asked Prabhupada, what if a person who's a drunkard, he drinks alcohol, and he thinks this is taste, this is Krishna. Prabhupada said, yes, he can also become Krishna conscious if he thinks like that, but it'll take some time. Because drinking alcohol is not conducive to Krishna consciousness. But if he still thinks this is taste, taste of water is Krishna, this is Krishna, slowly he'll also become Krishna conscious. It's just how to see Krishna everywhere. This verse explains how the Lord is all pervasive by his diverse material and spiritual energies. The Supreme Lord can be preliminarily perceived by his different energies, and in this way he is realized impersonally. As a demigod in the sun is a person and is perceived by his all-pervading energy, the sunshine, so the Lord, although in his eternal abode, is perceived by his all-pervading diffusive energies. So it's perceived by his all-pervading diffusive energies. The taste of water is the active principle of water. No one likes to drink seawater because the pure taste of water is mixed with salt. So when we drink water, fresh water, we should understand this is Krishna. Attraction for water depends on the purity of the taste. And this pure taste is one of the energies of the Lord. The impersonalist perceives the presence of the Lord in water by its taste. And the personalist also glorifies the Lord for his kindly supplying tasty water to quench man's thirst. So a personalist or a devotee is always thankful to the Lord, grateful to him. That, okay, you're the taste of water, but you're also giving this water so we can quench our thirst, so we don't die because of thirst. You're so merciful. And actually speaking, everything is mercy of Krishna. That is the way of perceiving the Supreme. Practically speaking, there is no conflict between personalism and impersonalism. One who knows God knows that the impersonal conception and personal conception are simultaneously present in everything, and that there is no contradiction. So one who knows God, so one who knows his personal feature, one who is serving the Lord, impersonal also comes from him. Impersonal is not existing on its own. It comes from him only. But a devotee knows complete truth. So that's why Bhagavatam says, no, Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagwan iti Shabdyate. So absolute truth has three aspects. Brahmajyoti, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. So those who only know Brahmajyoti, they don't know Paramatma and Bhagwan feature. But those who know Bhagwan, those who are serving Bhagwan, they know the Brahmajyoti and Paramatma feature of the Lord. But they want to serve the Bhagwan feature. The relationship can only happen with Bhagwan, not with Brahmajyoti and not with Paramatma either. So he is simultaneously present. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya established his sublime doctrine, Achintya, Bheda, and Abheda Tattva. Simultaneous oneness and difference. So it's simultaneous. But impersonalists, they only stress on that there is no person. The light of the sun and moon. So light, he says, I am the light of the sun and the moon. Prabhasmi Shashi Suryayo. Is also originally emanating from the Brahm Jyoti. So light doesn't come on its own. It comes from Brahm Jyoti. And moon also doesn't have its own light. It's the sun's light that is reflected by moon. It looks like moonshine, but moon doesn't have its own light. But sun has its light, but that light also is part of Brahma Jyoti, which is the impersonal effulgence of the Lord. So is there any way to see things without sunlight and moonlight? No. So as soon as we see things, we should appreciate Krishna as the light of the sun and the moon. So those who want to see the Lord, they see him everywhere, in everything. But those who don't want to see, they cannot see him even if he is standing right before them. And further he says, Shabdakhe Porusham Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. And Pranav, or the Omkar, transcendental sound, in the beginning of every Vedic hymn, addresses the Supreme Lord. So Om, when we chant the mantra starting with Om, so that Om is Krishna. Because the impersonalists are very much afraid of addressing the Supreme Lord Krishna by his innumerable names, they prefer to vibrate the transcendental sound Omkar. So for them, Om is everything. Om is the beginning of the creation. Om is everywhere, all over. Krishna says, Pranava Sarva Vedeshu, I am. That Om is I am. So Om is Krishna, but Krishna is again non-different from his holy names. Govinda, Krishna, Madhava is non-different. There's some difference between Om and Harinam. Om is representative of the Lord. Omkar is a sound representation of Krishna. Harinam is non-different from Krishna. Huge difference. But even if somebody vibrates Om, that Krishna says, that's me. But people don't understand. That's what Prabhupada said. The impersonalists are very much afraid of chanting Krishna's innumerable names. So they prefer to vibrate transcendental sound Omkar. But they do not realize that Omkar is a sound representation of Krishna. Now in Sikhism also, Ek Omkar, right? So where does that come from? They say, oh, we are not Hindus and we have nothing. What is Ek Omkar? Whole Gurbani talks about the holy names of Krishna, Ram, Govinda. It was Guru Nanak Dev started it. He was Hindu, but he started this panth to protect from all these invaders. Otherwise, what's the meaning of Ek Omkar? Where is Omkar coming from? What is Omkar? The jurisdiction of Krishna consciousness extends everywhere, and one who knows Krishna consciousness is blessed. Those who do not know Krishna are in illusion, and so knowledge of Krishna is liberation, and ignorance of him is bondage. And further, Krishna says in the shloka, I am the sound in ether. So whatever we hear, the sound, Krishna says that I am. So can we do anything without hearing, without the sound? No. And then ability in man, Purusham Drishu. Ability in man, the means the capability, whether the physical or the mental capabilities, it's all from Krishna. Ability, emotional capabilities or spiritual capabilities. The strength, ability is Krishna. What can we do without the strength? If he takes away the strength from our body, what can we do? We can't speak, we can't move, can't even lift our finger. What can we do without Krishna? So this is to understand if somebody is really knowledgeable, he can really see that whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm speaking of, the ability, the capability, the strength is given by the Lord. He is a strength within me, within my body. That is becoming Krishna conscious. To see Krishna everywhere, to see Krishna's hands everywhere, to see Krishna's energy, his mercy everywhere. This world is called Durga, right? And Durga, or a fort or a jail. So he puts us in the jail and he gives the abilities also how to get out and or how to remain in the jail. The abilities are given by him. It's just up to us how do we use it. What if we had put all the living entities in the jail without giving them any ability? Then we will rot here eternally. So this is all his mercy. And we use the abilities for our sense gratification. That is most unfortunate situation. But he still gives us those abilities. And he remains with us in every species as Paramatma. When we misuse those abilities, suppose somebody has a good fit body, but he uses it to kill others or beat up others, then Krishna will take away those abilities for a while. Whether in next life or in this life, he'll maybe paralyze him or whatever. But still, he gives other abilities, and in following lives, he'll give the abilities back. But regardless, those abilities are Krishna. Means we have to see that way. Further, he says, Punyo gandha prithivya cha tejas chasmi vibhavaso jivanam sarvabhuteshu tapaschasmi tapasveshu. I am the original fragrance of the earth, and I am the heat in fire. Tejas chasmi vibhavaso. I am the life of all that lives, and I am the penance of all ascetics. So punya means that which is not decomposed. Punya means is original. Everything in the material world has a certain fragrance. As a fragrance in a flower or in the earth, in water, in fire, in air, etc. The uncontaminated fragrance, the original fragrance which permeates everything is Krishna. So uncontaminated fragrance. Krishna says, Punyo Gandha Prithibhyam. So without that fragrance of the earth, how can we have any good smell or even desire to smell anything if the fragrance is taken away? But that fragrance, Krishna says, I am. Similarly, everything has a particular original taste. And this taste can be changed by the mixture of chemicals. So everything has some original fragrance and taste, and that is Krishna. Vibhavasu means fire. Without fire, we cannot run factories, we cannot cook, etc. And that fire is Krishna. The heat in the fire is Krishna. Without the fire, we cannot run factories. Factories to make anything, whether automobiles, whether aeroplanes, or whether small computers or chips. Somebody will say, where is the fire in making chips? Well, we have to mold them, we have to do whatever, cut them. And to cut them, you need energy. That energy comes from fire. The heat in fire is also Krishna. According to Vedic medicine, indigestion is due to a low temperature in the belly. So even for digestion, fire is needed. See, our body is warm because of fire inside. See, those who don't understand, those who want to make fun of it, oh, I don't have fire burning inside my body. Where is the fire? Well, we have to see by its symptoms. Body is cold or warm. It is warm. So means the fire is there. It's not like it has to be burning fire, but the fire element has to be there. And as Prabhupada mentioned, without fire in the body, in the belly, cannot happen any digestion. Digestion cannot happen. And later on, Krishna even says, I am the fire of digestion. So what if the fire is taken away? No digestion means no food, means no strength, no energy. A person cannot do any activity. Any. No matter how much capable he is. He cannot do. In Krishna consciousness, we become aware that earth, water, fire, air, and every active principle, all chemicals and all material elements are due to Krishna. The duration of man's life is also due to Krishna. Therefore, by the grace of Krishna, man can prolong his life or diminish it. So, duration of life. He says, I am the life of all that lives. It can be prolonged or it can be reduced, whatever Krishna wants. So Arjun was worried about killing the other party, the soldiers of the other party, especially the generals. And Krishna says, I am the life. If I want to reduce their life, I can do so right away. So Krishna consciousness is active in every sphere. Every sphere. It is active. It just, we have to see it, we have to acknowledge it, we have to be grateful for it. About that, we just have to serve it. So those who want to serve Krishna, those who love Krishna, they love Krishna's energies, love Krishna's creation. Not in a mood to enjoy, but in a mood to serve. That is the right understanding of Krishna consciousness. It's not like that just because we are chanting and we are sitting in our house and we don't do our service, we become Krishna conscious. No, service is the active principle of our bhakti process. And that service can be better situated if we see Krishna everywhere. And we serve accordingly, obviously. We serve accordingly, but we serve. Further, he says, Bijam mam sarva bhutanam vidhi partha sanatana buddhir buddhi matam asmi tejas tejas vinam aham. O son of Pritha, know that I am the original seed of all existences, the intelligence of the intelligent, and the prowess of all powerful men. I am the seed. Later on, he'll say, I'm the seed giving father also. But here he's saying, I am the seed. Bija means seed. Krishna is the seed of everything. There are various living entities, movable and inert. Birds, beasts, men, and many other living creatures are moving living entities. Trees and plants, however, are inert. They cannot move, but only stand. Every entity is contained within the scope of 8.4 million species of life. Some of them are moving and some of them are inert. In all cases, however, the seed of their life is Krishna. I am the seed. As stated in Vedic literature, Yato va imani bhutani jayante. Brahman, or the supreme absolute truth, is that from which everything is emanating. Everything comes from Krishna, and he's a seed. Krishna is Parabrahman, the supreme spirit. Brahman is impersonal, and Parabrahman is personal. Impersonal Brahman is situated in the personal aspect. That is stated in Bhagavad Gita later on, 14th chapter. Therefore, originally, Krishna is the source of everything. Even Parabrahman comes from Krishna. And as we have studied in Bhagavatam, Parabrahman, no, I'm sorry, Brahman, Brahmjyoti comes from Krishna. Brahmjyoti is the effulgence of Krishna's body, according to Bhagavatam. So, effulgence of Krishna's body depends on the body of Krishna. As the root of a tree maintains the whole tree, Krishna, being the original root of all things, maintains everything in this material manifestation. This is also confirmed in Vedic literature. So he's not just a root and he's left it alone. No, he's maintaining everything. He's not just a seed, he's maintaining everything. This is also confirmed in Vedic literature. Nityo nityanam chetnas chetnanam. Eko bahunam yavidadhati kama. He is a prime eternal among all eternals. He is a supreme living entity of all living entities, and he alone is maintaining all life. One cannot do anything without intelligence. And Krishna also says that he is the root of all intelligence. So he is the root. So intelligence is him. I am the intelligence of the intelligent and the prowess of all powerful men. So every capability comes from him. Unless a person is intelligent, he cannot understand the supreme personality of Godhead. So when a person is intelligent, unless a person is really intelligent, we have intelligence, scientific or technical, medical, other ways. But understanding this intelligence is coming from Krishna. He says, although 8 elements, Man, Buddhi, Ahankar, I am, are my energies, but the intelligence, that is intelligence element, that is intelligence thing, we can say, or quality, that's also him. 15th chapter, he says, I give the intelligence, that is 10th chapter, I give the knowledge. But 15th chapter, he says, from me comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. So although intelligence is Krishna, but up to the desire of the living entity, I want to forget Krishna, give me that intelligence, Krishna gives it. I want to remember Krishna. Krishna, I want to remember you. Krishna gives that intelligence. It's our desire, how we want to use all these capabilities. That is Krishna himself. The soul is from Krishna. Body is made of all these 8 elements. That's all energies of Krishna. The capabilities of using this body comes from Krishna. Only one thing that doesn't come from him. our desire. He doesn't interfere with our desires. And if we desire to act against him, like if we say, oh, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in God, the intelligence, the capabilities, the power, everything is coming from Krishna. If somebody says God is impersonal, God is Nirakar, intelligence is still coming from him. And somebody says, oh Krishna, you're everywhere, I want to serve him, I love you. Intelligence is still coming from the Lord. That's why he's one of his opulences, if you remember, is renunciation. He's detached, completely detached. This is his renunciation. But he says, Samoham Sarvabhuteshu. Further, he says, I'm equal to all, but my devotees are dear to me. When he says, but means, then he is saying something better than what he has said earlier. My devotees are very dear to me. Because they use everything that I have given in my service for my pleasure. Krishna doesn't need all these elements that we offer him. Does he need? Everything belongs to him. He just needs our love. He needs our appreciation. When they say Krishna performs his pastimes of stealing butter from gopis' houses, where does the butter come from? Milk of the cows. Cows come from Krishna. Milk comes from Krishna. Grass comes from Krishna. The ability to make butter comes from Krishna. Everything is Krishna's. So he's not stealing butter, which already belongs to him. How can he be called Makhan Chowk? That's his pastime. But his pastime is basically to invoke that love that gopis have for him. They churn butter because they want Krishna to come to their homes to steal that butter. In the process, that love that comes out, love comes out when they're churning butter, when they're milking the cows. They know they're doing it for Krishna. Churning butter, making the butter so wonderfully prepared that Krishna comes to steal. And in the process, if Krishna comes, they give the butter part to him. Okay, yeah, some love is there, but Krishna comes and then there is some trickery, some game. That is what pleases Krishna more, and they know that. And this is the love for Krishna. This is what he comes to taste in the house of gopis. If Yashoda Maya gives him butter without him asking, there's no love, there's no fun, there is no pleasure. But Damodar Leela, when he breaks the pot, feeds the butter to the monkeys, he's also eating, and Yashoda Maya gets angry, that heightens the love between Maya and Krishna. This is what Krishna wants. So he doesn't need to steal anything. Everything is his. So the love that is missing from our hearts in our life, this is what he wants, and this is what is going to make him happy, very, very happy, ecstatic. And it makes us happy. It just one has to realize it. So, so many more examples he will give, how he is everything, how he is providing everything. And then we can really appreciate his position. Okay, I guess we can stop here. You all have safe and wonderful. Any questions or comments? I'm sorry.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you,
Nice
Prabhuji.
class, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I just wanted to know, sorry, Chetna Mata, you wanted to ask something?
No, I was just saying thank you,
Acha,
Prabhuji.
okay. Prabhuji, when we talk about matter, is it referring for, isn't different elements? Is earth, water, fire, ether, air, and ether? What is
Well,
matter?
different
Matter.
elements, but also things. I mean, everything, like your phone, is made of earth, water, fire, air, ether.
Uh-huh.
So,
So,
thing
no.
and the elements, both.
Acha. Okay. Both called matter. Okay.
Yeah.
Acha. Mhm. Okay.
ठीक है?
एक और चीज थी, हाँ मुझे ध्यान
Yes,
नहीं आ
ma'am.
रही, चलो आई लास्ट नहीं, कुछ और भी ध्यान आ रहा था when you were just reading it. I don't know, मेरे दिमाग से निकल गया. Okay, thank you Prabhuji anyway.
Okay, madam. Thank you. You all have safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai
Thank
Shri
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.